Now let's talk about tetracyclines. Tetracyclines are usually given orally, but may be given by injection. Absorption from the gut is variable and is reduced by calcium ions, milk, magnesium ions, for example, antacids, food, and iron preparations. Tetracyclines are broad-spectrum antibiotics, but their low innate activity and increasing bacterial resistance limit their use. However, they are the drugs of choice for treating some infections caused by intracellular organisms because they penetrate macrophages well, for example, chlamydia, nonspecific urethritis, trachoma, psittacosis, rickettsia, Q fever, and Borrelia Lyme disease. Organisms sensitive to tetracyclines accumulate the drug partly by passive diffusion and partly by active transport. Resistant organisms produce an efflux pump and do not accumulate the antibiotic. Tetracyclines bind to calcium in growing bones and teeth. This causes discoloration of the teeth in the young, and tetracyclines should be avoided in children up to 8 years of age and in pregnant or lactating women. Diarrhea and nausea may occur. Overgrowth with Candida albicans in the mouth or bowel sometimes leads to thrush. In general, the properties of the tetracyclines are similar. One exception is tigecycline, a newer glycylcycline antibacterial structurally like minocycline. Its 9-glycylamide structure seems to confer protection from the two commonest resistance mechanisms, for example efflux pumps and ribosomal alteration. Tigecycline is given by intravenous infusion and is active against a wide range of pathogens, including MRSA and vancomycin-resistant enterococci. It is effective for intra-abdominal, skin, and soft tissue infections.